Hey, the people of African descent. What I'm trying to release today is a little bit mundane, but since I already made a promise I was going to be giving out a clip every day, I'm going to try and release this. So bear with me. The course of this today broadcast is about the fact that the reason why we people of African descent we are almost like we are declared irrelevant in the political landscape is because we are mixers. Everybody all women and all people of African descent, or people of community of color, and the youth, which are the three constituencies that I'm working on, are all mixers. Once in a while, they have what you call somebody exuding out of that mixers category and become a giver or become a taker. So my thing today is that if you want to make it in life, I'm sorry to say, you might want to start changing your mentality to become either a giver or a taker, because it's going to be a giver take all or a taker take all. In between those two parameters, there are what you call the mixers, which makes up 99.9999% of humanity. I came to that conclusion today because I realized that it is during that your taker's mentality or your giver's mentality that you will be envied, and if you're a giver, you will be giving more, but you will be immersing more to your heart content. And if you are a taker, you will be immersing to your heart content whether you're going to take or you're not going to take or not. So when I say that, I'm now challenging you to a new frontier. And the new frontier is that please, and I repeat, please try as much as you can to swift between, because he who has the power also has responsibility. He who has no power has no responsibility. But a lot of times you find out that he who has the power does not take on the responsibility. And he who has no power takes on the responsibility because they are grumbling and they are complaining at the background. So let me say categorically today that going forward, I'm lucky to have been a giver, and now that I'm not positioned to start doubling down on my work ethics and I'm coasting into sunrise, I got people who are coming from the wazoo, just giving me just about anything without me asking, and that has been my biggest advantage. So I didn't ask, and I kept getting a lot of the nuggets. So the first thing that hit me was, because I didn't ask, and I am one of those people who are fortunate, I feel the urge to make sure that I give to the community by educating those who are in the middle there to start moving out of that comfort zone and get into, either if you're going to be taking, take it all. If you're going to be giving, give it all. And don't listen to the hype. Otherwise, you're going to be there and nothing's going to happen. That's my summation of today. The only thing I want to quickly add to that is the clip that Vladimir Putin released today, or released a couple of days ago, The release of that clip is more or less what I call I am setting up a platform where the platform will be good enough when Nigeria is getting ready to release information. I will release the information because I believe that I am more Nigerian than anybody else, or I'm more woman than anybody else, or I'm more people of African descent, or I'm more of the community of color, or I am more of a youthful exuberance than anybody else. And as such, I would be the one that will go into. Because when Putin was releasing his clip, he was releasing it through what you call one of the channels. And the channel, what Putin said was that I am not, he wants you to believe that if you are expecting too much, you're going to get disappointed. And he was referring that to Trump, that disappointment comes from expecting too much. And if you don't know that, now I want you to know that. And he said that the war that is going on there takes a lot of, he has put up with a committee, three standing committee with Ukraine to study the situation so that what happened here will not repeat itself again. He talked about the Orthodox family. He talks about the Dumans, which is the legislative body, and says that on the long run, all these things are going to be put together. And as a matter of fact, as I was just getting ready to read that, there was another article which I couldn't really finish, where this foreign affairs secretary to Putin releases another nugget. So I'm going to close that by saying that I believe that the disappointment that Trump put out there makes me feel that at this point in time, Putin is declared smarter than Trump. Even though Trump has reversed a lot of the decisions the past 2 weeks, and start giving more ammunition to the Ukrainians. But one thing that is for sure right now is that Ukraine is no longer an endangered species, like the way they were at the very beginning, because Trump has released some more nuclear-capable submarine close to Russia's border to tell him that if what you've always, that cyber ratting you were doing, I'm going to be counteract you. And Putin came out of nowhere saying that all those big talk you were talking, whether publicly or privately, which is necessary to make the still work for the past 3 years, is necessary to have what you call real understanding. And I am very glad that I'm declaring that Putin is smarter than Trump. Trump is a smart guy, but when we're talking about smartness, let me say that I believe that smartness is the worst. If you're smart, you are smart, you're stupid. If you're a good person, you are not smart. You're better than somebody who's smart, because smart is what destroyed the world. We're smart. People are smart in each other. These people are not good in each other. They are smart in each other. I'm a good person. I'm not a smart person. So, the third topic I want to cover is that, like I said, I am going to be representing Nigeria, and I want to be the one that will be able to release what you call a dossier from the Nigerian inside, and says that I am the mouthpiece of Nigeria, and the information I'm going to be releasing is about Nigeria, because I'm more Nigerian than anybody else. I don't know whether that makes sense to you. So as I'm saying that, I'm also saying that I will be releasing what you call a more mundane talk host radio format, up to be streaming going forward. And I'll be streaming, and I'll be using streaming through what you call the WhatsApp, and I will will be dedicated to a particular period of the day where you can be able to hear me without no giving up. So what it's going to be is going to be taking the format of people like Dr. Laura Schlesinger, who is a physiotherapist or a psychologist, or a string, or a string, or Nora, 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 yeah, and just George, who took over from Abel on the coast to coast, because I happen to have listened to Dr. Laura Schlesinger extensively. That's why I got my wisdom for whatever I'm saying in the public is what my private house is all about. I'm going to only be cautious about 2 or 3 things. One, to be cautious not to be what you call political. I will be cautious to be my political innuendos is not going to be. You will avoid libel suit, because people are going to say you're giving me libel, giving me position for libel, like the one Fatiroti me got into when Baba fella, the guy in Nikiti, I want to go lock him up. And I'm going to be cautious to make sure that I don't go and give you medical medical advice, because I'm not a doctor. No, I'm going to be sure that I don't go and give legal advice because I'm not a lawyer. But on most of the information I'm going to be giving is going to borderline lawyer, borderline political, and borderline medical. Because yesterday I was talking to my best friend, and the first thing I was telling him was that we have not been in touch. And I was trying to get him to where we can get in touch. At the end of the discussion, he is telling me, I've been down for the past 3 weeks. And I told him too, I was down. I came down with the malaria after coming to the Nigerian airspace. I said, but in your own case, you're down for 3 weeks, but I do believe that your situation, based on your lifestyle, is not, will exacerbate down the slope, sliding down the slope because of your lifestyle. He quickly picked up and said, yes, you mean trekking? I said, trekking is a good thing, because I personally do what you call a palpation, which is a lot of massaging, which I always exercise. He's talking about exercise, because they were telling him that the reason why he's going down the journey is because he's not exercising. But that's just one of it. But I did told him, I said, one, you are docking my prognosis of the situation at which I put down as a lifestyle changes. And I'm not going to go further than that. That's what you call medical advice. If I go further than that, I would have given him medical advice, which I'm not a medical doctor. I don't want to go there. But I did make it clear to him that if he goes in and go and start thinking about what I just said, he'll be able to know what I'm talking about. I haven't spent too much time with him. I've only spent 3 hours here, 3 hours there. That's it. But I do know that based on what I know about him then, and what I know when I was gone, and what I do know now that I've spent a few times with him, that he has a lifestyle that I was really big on, and he almost got me into the boondock. So my release today is going to be https // seller.com/01335127113. That's my book. You are never going to ever miss out on that. As a matter of fact, I had what you call this big thing that is coming up. So be advised that there's going to be what you call all the things that was giving me a lot of frustration in terms of after my book was released, when I started doing what you call the social media, or to become a content provider, and I was getting all kinds of what you call a boondoggle on it, has now been materialized. And I think this is going to be a go-to, because, like I said, one of my clips, I said I was going to run for the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria when I grow up. So you can have my word on that. So all the nuggets I was feeling, I've already encapsulated into what you call a talk host radio format. mimicking coast to coast, which is paranormal, or torcosity, which was human sexuality. So I did have a lot of experience to have been listening to those two people, and I think I can duplicate that in Nigeria. And what I'm currently looking for is just somebody who's going to be my sidekick. Thank you all for listening. My name is Ogisoba Idada. I appreciate your kindness. Bye.